This episode is brought to you by Pentester Academy TV, the leader online cybersecurity education. Cybersec Community Chat.
Hello to all our viewers, welcome to another episode of Cybersec Community Chat. I am your host, Damien. Today we are pleased to have Amos from Cybersec Singapore on board to this episode of Chit Chat session. Let's get our conversation started. Hello Amos, it's a pleasure to have you on board to this episode of Cybersec Community Chat. Hello.
Hello Damien.
To kick off this session, as I invited you as a representative from Cyber Youth Singapore. Will you be able to share with us how this community group started?
Sure, Damien, I'll be happy to. So CRS was formed in August of 2019 when a group of like-minded youths that are passionate about tech came together. So CRS was started with two main goals in mind. So first is to engage and nurture the next generation of workforce. So secondly, it's to create awareness and educate our youths in the future dangers they may face while exploring technology. In the past, opportunities to explore technology were very hard to find, and they rarely appear. And information about the technology sector in Singapore was largely unknown to the youth population. While exploring technology as a career, the lack of opportunities to explore beforehand caused the learning curve to be very steep, and some youths have struggled to cope. But as we rely on technology more and more in our daily lives, learning about how to use technology will be just as important as learning math or science. We didn't want youth to enter a computer science course without knowing what they were going to learn, so CRS was started to provide youths a platform to explore and learn more about technology, and thus creates a community of like-minded people that can benefit from each other. So in today's world, almost everyone owns a personal digital device. This could be a smartphone, a tablet, laptop, but all these provides an alternative avenue of access for threat actors. So unlike conventional thieves, such individuals are capable of accessing more than one home at a time. So this is just an example of the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the power of technology. That is also one of the main reasons why we formed CYS. It is to educate the youths of our generation about the dangers of the digital world so as to form a cyber resilient nation. Youths today have the opportunity to interact with technology much earlier than the previous generation. So this leads to a faster adoption of digital devices as they are part of their daily lives now. Although there are many benefits that comes about being accepted to technology, the digital age has also brought about many complications into our lives. So we have identified that as a concern, and we strive to educate youths to use technology responsibly. So apart from the quick acceptance and adoption of technology since young, Singapore has also identified the importance of digital connectivity in today's era, and it wants to mitigate the threats it brings to the nation. As youths, we want to play a part in fulfilling that role by giving youths a platform to learn more about cybersecurity and other areas of technology. This is to help Singapore build a safe digital future. So by identifying the needs that Singapore has in its transition to a smart nation, we too want to play a critical role to help address these needs and ensure youths are being safe, secure, responsible online.
Thank you for sharing, your community group, visions, and such a big vision also play a part as, Singapore growing cybersecurity workforce. We know that in a community group has lots of harder up meetup, to foster bonding and knowledge sharing. As COVID-19 has hit, for almost 2 years, do you think that it has slowed down the growth for your community group as there is less face-to-face meetup?
So despite COVID-19 disrupting our normal lives, I believe community growth has not stalled. But instead, it offers a greater opportunity for us to innovate and reach out to even more youths through online platforms such as Discord and Instagram. We can then engage them through activities that are hosted on these platforms. So through online engagement by using social media platforms, we have been able to reach out to youths to inform them about our events and initiatives, such as our monthly meetup and gaming sessions. This allows us to continually engage with our community and build a sense of belonging. COVID-19 has also really shown us the true power of online meetings, allowing us to meet and host events despite the many safe management measures currently in place. Although physical meetups do have their fair share of advantages such as promoting more interaction, not having to deal with technical issues, and usually the sessions are much more productive, but I believe online meetups have their fair share of advantages. Online meetups are much more flexible, accommodating to youths, and it allows for people all over the country to meet without the restrictions of normal face-to-face meetups. For events, online meetups also saves us manpower and resources as we do not need to plan for location and find manpower to staff these events. But in spite of COVID-19, our community, called the Cyber Youth Collective, it has been growing very rapidly. So at the start of the pandemic, we had no more than 300 members in our collective. But through our extensive events and regular online meetups, we have now about 1,700 youths and counting. This is a testament to the effectiveness of online social media platforms, which helped us tremendously in retaining and bringing in new members. So therefore, I don't believe that COVID-19 hindered community growth at all. In some ways, it has even allowed us to explore new avenues to reach out and engage our youths that we would not have thought be possible otherwise.
With the sheer number of growth in your member, despite COVID-19, how do you ensure that every members that comes to your groups are serving towards your group's initiatives?
So for us, we do have youths that they are passionate in helping other like-minded youths as well. So they join our management team and they take up roles to help other youths that also face the same troubles that we faced when we were going through our course of study in our schools. So the basic idea is that we didn't want them to go through the same things that we did. Because for us, it was really like diving into something we had no idea about. Although these schools do offer, let's say, course counseling, but they don't, you wouldn't know the skills necessary, the skills that you need to pick up before you enter the course. Because sometimes these courses, there are parts where it gets hard to understand. There are parts where it's easy to understand, and there are parts where there are very steep learning curves as well. So through our online activities and our online engagements, we provide sort of like mini classes, mini courses to basically small workshops to our youth to learn the basics, learn the fundamentals. Let's say Linux, programming, how to make a website, how to make a Discord board. So these are some of the initiatives we came up with, and it really benefited our youth, and it really benefited our youth community.
As you know that we are in a new year of 2022, what kind of exciting plans are coming up in CYS in 2022?
So in 2022, we have planned a series of exciting projects. So these are in the form of school outreaches, tech talks, workshops, a new membership system we will be coming up with, and many more. So the first I want to talk about is our Youth X series. So these are our Youth X series of events. So there are 4 pillars under this category. So one is Youth Explore, Youth Hack, Youth Workshop, and Youth Industry. So Youth Explore is basically our branch of school outreaches to provide youth from different education backgrounds a greater exposure to our digital world. So Youth Hack is our series of hackathon events, which gives youth a chance to test their skills while doing good. Youth Workshop is where we provide youth with an opportunity to learn new skills and provides a glance into the Singapore cybersecurity landscape. This in turn allows them to get a taste of what it's like pursuing an education in cybersecurity, or what's it like in a day of a professional. So therefore, this gives them a better understanding of cybersecurity as a domain. So the last one, Youth Industry, this is where we provide youth with the relevant exposure to the tech industry we have here in Singapore. So to close off the year of 2022, we have our annual flagship event called CYS Summit. So we have planned many activities for the summit, such as CTF competition, where many competitors from various education levels pit their skills against each other. So this also provides our youth an exposure. And CYS Summit will also have different companies coming down, and this will give them an exposure to the different companies in the industry and learn more about what sort of services or products that these companies offers. They can also learn about any possible scholarship opportunities, or if they're looking for an internship or a full-time job or part-time job. So our institutional partners will also be sharing more about what courses they offer. And those interested may join the sharing sessions conducted by our institutional partners to learn more about their courses. So other activities you'll be planning as well include a panel discussion with industry professionals, and lastly, we will also have a gaming tournament. So if you'd like to find out more about our events, you can join our Discord server as well, and you can stay up to date to these events.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, what activity that is going to expect in 2022. We're definitely going to put in our video descriptions all the details that what we're going to expect in CYS, who to contact, and stuff like that. With CYS diving deep into various aspects in the industry that you have mentioned earlier, what do you envision CYS in the future?
So CYS, so up to date, we have become a fully fledged youth-led non-profit organization. So looking forward, we envision CYS to be a place where we can empower youth and also serves as a natural platform for youth to play a part in our digital future. So as CYS, we want to continuously provide new opportunities to empower youth to discover their passion in technology. This is through building a sense of purpose and belonging in our Cyber Youth Collective community, where we can create a positive environment where everyone learns from each other through the regular events or activities to help them explore and advance their interests in technology. We also enable youths to take their first step into exploring technology by driving new initiatives that drives their interests and basic skills development. So we envision CYS to be a national platform, to be a place where new technologies are always being researched, discussed, and then innovated upon. We also hope then to reach out to Singaporeans of all walks of life to raise awareness and educate them on the digital dangers through programs like the CYS Surf Safe campaign. So this is an initiative we're launching around the end of the year. So this campaign aims to educate 100,000 secondary school students on the importance of cyber wellness, media literacy, and cybersecurity. It will launch in 2022 and it will continue for a period of 3 years. So this campaign seeks to reinforce Singapore's digital security by nurturing secondary school students into digitally resilient citizens. So finally, we also want to reach out to the creative minds within our youth community and help support their projects through the provision of services. So one existing program we have is Digitalize Singapore. So this is a program we organized with Exabytes, a regional hosting company. So they'll be providing $150,000 worth of resources for local youths to run their projects. So the purpose is to nurture the next generation of thinkers and doers. And we also do want to reduce the cost of prototyping and make it easier to bring their projects to life. So through Digitalize Singapore, we hope more youths will be empowered to bring their project ideas to life. So for COS to achieve its goals, we very much believe in the need to be the hub for the ecosystem. So what do I mean by this? So we work with the public sector and the industry, both locally and internationally, to co-create meaningful opportunities for youth in tech. Likewise, we will also represent our youth interests to the ecosystem. So ultimately, this allows us to effectively engage, represent our youth, and develop them in this vibrant ecosystem.
I think it's quite a big call and big ambition that you guys have planned. I think that with the whole big group of management team that you guys have formed, I think you will definitely move towards the goal that you have guys set. Enough say about we discussed about how CYS has formed and what CYS is doing. Amos, I have some personal questions for you. You also are involved in cybersecurity industry, and you there's a lot of pain points that youth coming into this industry. What is your personal advice for youth embarking to cybersecurity industry now?
So personally, when I entered my course into SP, I've seen a few of my friends as well. They struggled to cope as well because, just for clarification, when I joined SP, CRS was not yet born. So I've seen a few of my friends struggle to cope with a lot of the courses, a lot of the academic assignments that they have to do. They had no idea where to start. So here are some tips that I've picked up over my poly years to hopefully help make this learning curve less steep. So first is to work on your technical skills, because firstly, this is a very technical industry. When employers are out there looking for people to hire, they will look at what sort of skills, what sort of experience you have. Academic certs are good, but that's not a very important thing they will be looking out for. So it's always better to start early, such as picking up your first programming language and grasp what is the core concept of it. So let's say Python. Python is a good start. It is relatively easy to learn. The syntax is very easy, but after that, maybe you want to try out C++, Java, JavaScript, learn more programming languages. So this way, when you enter your academic course, it'll be easier to pick up the things that are being taught in class. So just because your grades are on paper are doing great, do not neglect your technical skills. So the second point is, if you have the chance, try to attend as many capture the flag competitions as you can, or hackathon events, as these are a great way to pick up new skills and new tools. So for CTFs, they are a great way to hone your skill sets, and it makes understanding several cybersecurity concepts easier. But however, for me, I believe winning is not the number one priority. What's more important is learning the ideas and methodologies behind them. So for hackathons are better at training your problem solving and your relevant prototyping programming skills to come up with the working prototype. You can also see what prototypes your competitors come up with and try to think what they were thinking when they were making the final end product. What is their thought process? And cybersecurity is a continual arms race where every year technologies are being developed to fulfill business and individual needs alike. We will need to keep improving our skills to defend ourselves against these evolving threats.
Thank you, Amos, for your response. From your response, I just have a very curious questions I want to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So a student can have good grade, but technical skills not there?
It is possible because for me, I'm not really the kind of person that likes to read material a lot. I mean, it is important, but there are some who, because I have a few friends as well, they do great academically, but they just can't do, when it comes to technical skill set, they are just not very good at it. So let's say when it comes to learning the theory, they are very good at it, but when it comes to, let's say, when it comes to applying this theory to action, they are not very good at it. Because let's say when you're taking an academic course, they teach you the basics of cybersecurity. They may go in depth in some areas, but really, employees out there are looking for a certificate that really proves that you have what it takes to be in the industry. Because let's say courses like OSCP, they go very advanced, very in depth into your cybersecurity skills. A lot of penetration testing. So these really put your skills to the test, and they are not really covered very commonly in cybersecurity courses. They do cover penetration testing, but it's on a very basic level. But OSCP, they go very in depth and teach you all the different kind of methods you can they teach you a lot of other methods that you can attack a machine with. So yeah, paper certs are going for certifications outside of your school is very important, as it really proves as it really proves that you have the skill sets needed for the industry.
It's very interesting to listen to your thoughts with regards to this. There is always debate about technical theory, examination, multiple choice. I think it's still a debatable stuff, and just to add on to your response, there is still a lot of other cybersecurity domain that people still can go other than red teaming or penetration testing as well. So, but it's very nice to hear your thoughts, from a student's perspective, how this kind of evolve in the cybersecurity industry, and I think it also might relate to some people, and how can we continue to improve our cybersecurity education industry as well. As time is running out, I have two last question for you, and I have been asking this question, and I now throwing back to the floor, to the students, to the people that's coming out to the workforce. Do you think there is a supply-demand mismatch in the cybersecurity industry? Where we have so many people in the industry, people say that we don't have enough people, we don't have enough people. Do you think that we really have a supply and demand mismatch? Are we not producing more from the school level? What's your thoughts about that?
So worldwide, there's a huge shortage of cybersecurity talents in the industry, and Singapore is not excluded from that fact. So this has caused a supply-demand mismatch. As technology advances, more and more companies are in need of cybersecurity professionals to safeguard their digital assets. As a result, there's a large number of cybersecurity jobs openings left unfilled. So according to statistics by the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore, Singapore faces an estimated shortage of 3,400 cybersecurity professionals in 2020 alone. And the other side of it is that there are not enough students being trained in cybersecurity in Singapore. Government organizations such as CSA have stepped up to address this issue by creating the SG Cyber Youth Program. This aims to identify and nurture talents to join the cybersecurity industry. So at COIS, we have also done our part in cultivating interest in cybersecurity among youths. As mentioned before, COIS has many events and opportunities that allow youths to explore their interests in cybersecurity. But overall, I believe that for those who are passionate about cybersecurity, now is really a great time to jump into this growing industry. And if you need a head start, you can come join the activities we'll be running in COIS.
Do you think that in the future the gap will be not widened, it will be like narrower?
I mean, we do need I believe in the future the gap will be narrower, because the fact is that it is very scary when a company gets attacked by ransomware or any other malware, because as a result they don't want to get attacked, they want to get protection from it. So sort of the same thing like how banks do need security guards to safeguard their assets. So in the same way, cybersecurity professionals are sort of like digital security officers, you can say, in a sense. And as we get more digitalized, more of our daily lives are on the web, and you don't want people to gain access to your confidential data, confidential information. So in the future, more and more people will become aware of how important it is to have good protection against the threats out there, the digital threats out there, and in turn, I would say more people would start to join the cybersecurity industry as well.
Yeah, I think we believe that more people will be coming into the industry. You have been working with the youth, for years. Do you think that the youth are interested in cybersecurity industry as the year goes by, and stuff like that? What have you seen? Do you see that there's more interest coming from the youth onboarding to cybersecurity industry to start their journey in cybersecurity education in school?
So if you're looking at secondary school and say JC level, I believe the government is trying to drive the interest in technology as well through offering classes for basic computing, where they learn the basic fundamentals of computing through programming and learning basic IT concepts as well. So these serves as a base for youths who are interested in technology. So in turn, let's say when they graduate and they want to further their interest in technology, they are able to join university or say polytechnic for secondary school students. So I believe that giving students a early head start in computing while they are in secondary school is really great, because at least they are able to figure out their career path early. So in secondary school, while they do still have the chance to figure out what they really would like to do for their future career, and they explore different subjects, let's say geography, history, English, math, or science, they're able to figure out what sort of career they want to establish. So having a computing class in secondary school really helps to drive their interest in technology.
Okay, Amos, I think thank you so much for sharing all your heartfelt, response to all the questions that I asked today. Thank you so much for coming on board to this episode of Cybersec Community Chat. To all our viewers that is watching this episode, I do hope that you enjoy Amos and I myself the conversation that we have, and you can take some notes that from what Amos have shared. And thank you, Amos and CYS team, for coming on board to this episode. And to all the viewers, I do look forward to see you guys at the next episode of Cybersec Community Chat. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Damien.